Hello and welcome to episode 13 of Alternate History of the World. Let's get into it. So, last episode was the peace treaty for World War II. And this is what the new world looks like. So, first thing that's going to be happening is some countries leaving alliances. This whole Cold War thing and World War II over, the whole kind of build up with the Ottomans, the Chinese, the Triangles, and the Germans against each other. With that gone, all these Triangle nations in Africa, or just nations in the Triangle Alliance, will all leave, as they don't really see much of a purpose anymore. And neither do a lot of these oceanic countries, as a lot of them leave the timelines. Yeah. And also, many of these countries just leave. All of North America, in fact, leaves the Triangle Alliance. But South America, at least the countries in there, are going to, just stay. And Germany is going to be able to keep their allies, but who knows how long that's going to last. But they will be forming an economical alliance. The White Triangle Alliance. Yeah. And there is the Ottomans, maybe the Ottoman nations, the new ones, are going to be joining this alliance. This is occupational zones, with this northern one here being occupied by the Germans, this one by Brazil, this one by China, and this one by Brazil. Yeah. So, more countries, mainly the countries that were once part of the Ottoman Empire, are going to be joining this economical alliance. And because they just feel like they're gonna need it, they just formed, they feel like they really only need some help, since they kinda just formed. Yeah. So all these Mesopotamian ones will be joining the alliance, and so will all these Arabian ones here. All of them will also be joining the economical alliance of the Germans. Yeah. So this economical alliance is pretty big, as Egypt will also join it. And the alliance is becoming pretty big. And there's this sort of like pacts between the Germans and the Chinese. Like, they basically were with each other when they coalitioned against the Ottomans in the ending stages of World War II. And now they're sort of separating from each other. The Chinese feel like the Germans are impeding their influence onto the Mesopotamian countries. And China wants to spread their influence out East Asia and Africa, while Germany wants to spread around the Americas and Africa. Yeah. There's this sort of influential war. They're kind of separating from each other, like mitosis stuff. Yeah. But there has to be a war happening everywhere, or something changing on the map. So some of these states of North America will be deciding to unite. Specifically, all of these states here that were once part of the Italian colony. That's not doing that, just talk. Well, the Italian colony, it was once here in North America after World War One, which World War One, Germany won in this scenario, which kinda caused this entire series. This is literally called Alternate History of the World, for that is. So when the Italians won, they got their colony in North America, which looked something like this. Until it got destroyed, as the Italians just collapsed, they lost all their colonies, and now the Italians don't exist. Yeah, but Germany's still around. And how about Alex Einstein? What does he do? The ruler of this nation. He came here with his super advanced weapons and pretty much made this world. But he is kind of getting bored. Yeah. He feels like he might want to leave soon. He might want to leave Germany soon and maybe go to his other planets that he's made, such as the What If Civilization started overworld. Yeah. So that's something. And when we go to South America, we can see another pretty big event happening. Nope, it's not the Triangle Alliance expanding, but it's another thing. These South American countries will be uniting into one single South American Union. Why do they do this? For a very long long time, South America has been the most neutral continent, especially with the Triangle Alliance forming. When that formed, it really situated their neutrality in this place. And well, yeah, they basically just became one country. They all speak Spanish except Brazil and Guyana and French Guiana and Suriname. Yeah, only ones that don't speak Spanish. But basically, everybody speaks Spanish. Well, Portuguese is a Romance language. So, do they have similarities? They probably have some that I don't know about. Basically, all these Latin American countries in South America, or I could just say South American countries, well, all of them will be uniting into one single federation, with the capital over in Brasilia, right about here. They wouldn't want it like Rio de Janeiro. They probably want it more in the center, so like around Brasilia, the capital of Brazil. And South America is now one giant union. Yeah. What to do now? There's a lot, yeah, German colonies. So a lot of these German colonies, or all of them actually, were released. And that is kind of hurting the economy of Germany. Specifically because of this. This is part of the Moroccan country. They do control this, but this kind of is controlled, but yeah. So Germany's going to be invading the Moroccan country, or just two countries. No, both of these countries, in order to gain some more territory and influence over the Mediterranean. So very quickly, the Germans will be sending their troops over into the Iberian Peninsula a few years after World War II has ended. And, well, this is going to absolutely destroy the economy of Germany. But not before they finish this war, that is, as they will be invading and forcing these countries to surrender, as their economies have just been destroyed. And we can look at the peace treaties. And this is the peace treaty. And then, a few days after this, the German economy collapses. Yep, the economy just totally collapses. And then the world realizes the Ottomans were like the main trader of the world. With the Suez Canal, they basically controlled all of world's trade, but now they're gone. And the world's largest trading partner with nations across the world is now gone. So now we're in the Great Depression, as these military alliances aren't working out. So basically, the Diamond Alliance just kind of collapses because of this Great Depression, and so does this military alliance, as this German alliance is just gone, and Ireland just collapses and joins Germany because of the economy. The economy is so bad right now that, well, nobody has a good economy. Just the world is kind of in isolationism, like scrambling to try and solve the economy issue. And who knows if this South American thing is going to work very well. But it didn't really affect South America too much. It just mainly affected all of this in North America. It didn't really affect Oceania or South America. Basically affected North America, Europe, Asia, and Africa, all in Great Depressions. So many countries, knowing that, are going to join the Germans' economical alliance in order to attempt to save their economy, as they, well, are just all in depression. They're all in debt, as they have to pay a lot of reparations for even existing. A lot of these nations, the reason they didn't lose land is because they just paid debts. And they are still in debt to nations like Germany, Brazil, China. And basically, Africa is just profiting off Germany. But China will also form a new economical alliance, the Diamond Economical Alliance. Yeah, they definitely didn't just turn the military alliance into an economical one. Well, it's definitely not a coincidence how all of the same countries are in this alliance. Definitely not a coincidence. But a lot of these nations over here will be joining the Chinese Economical Alliance in order to attempt to pay their debts to China. Yeah, it's kind of weird. And now that the world is in a Great Depression, nobody has money, and Africa is just, well, losing everything. That is going to do it for today's video. Hope you enjoyed today's scenario where... Hope you enjoyed today's episode of Alternate to the World. See you in the next episode, and bye!